it is time to play with the September paper pumpkin autumn abundance. So what I like to do when I get these is just give myself a couple of hours of playtime and just see what other alternatives we can come up with. This is really a fun stamp set, beautiful papers. And those are kind of some leftovers. And I'm going to put, it's Karen Titus stamping on the back porch, but I'm come down. I have these pieces that I can still work with as I'm playing along. I thought, aren't these just really fun? So I'm going to set these aside because I put together ideas for kind of where to go, but I haven't completed the cards. So we may be adding things, changing as we go. So the first thing I'm going to start with, this is the one of the cards. And you'll see I wanted to turn one of my favorite things to do with cards like this, where you want to see it all, is turn it into a Z fold. So this is the typical fold, but it's inside out. Then this goes back on itself. And then what I took, so for the writing, see if we can put this, and if I want more writing, I could put an extra one there. I will take this and put this on the inside. I think getting Paper Pumpkin Kit is like getting any kind of creative thing in the mail where you just get a chance to play. And of course, the cards or whatever project they're sending are just beautiful. So you can just do those. But for those of us who like to try out other things, it's pretty fun. Now, this is what I pre-made. This is basically, let me see if I have it here. Oh, here, because here are the beautiful ones that come in the mail. And you can see how I've kind of taken this same thing. They just put it on this big front. And what I've chosen to do is make this whole thing, but I'm just going to put it here. So it's going to be just a different look. And then it's going to open like that. So I can take this and just add some there. And I want to make sure it doesn't close over that, or I have a very thick postcard. So I'm going to end up doing that. And I just think that is just really pretty. It's just an easy way to step up any card. That's card number one. I don't even know how many cards I made. We shall see. The next one, we're going to do the same thing, but I thought this would be fun. Let's see, which one do I want to? I could do either one, but I am going to cut the front down from corner to corner. So I'm going to go from there down to here and cut it off. I'm going to put this on the inside, just flat. So I will attach that. So this will be a split cut front, split on the diagonal. And I was just kind of looking at things that I could play with this. So now if I want to accent this, which I do, so I'm going to add a little early espresso right here, very thin, but it's just going to give a little, sure, that'll work. So I'm going to, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I have my silicone pad under here. I will get that out here for the next. I'm going to butt that up right there, and I'm just going to, I just want a thin little line right like that. And then I can take my scissors from somewhere. I must have a scissors on here. Okay, here's one. And I will cut that off. And if it extends there, see, I'll just cut that off. Okay, so here is my card base. And then to play with this, so I was kind of looking at the same things. Let's see what we can do here. One of the things I was thinking about was that we could make this as a little clasp. Let's see if that works. So if I put this, I have so much stuff on my desk here for all these cards, and then it's to find what I need. Here, I'm going to do a dimensional. Actually, I'm going to put a couple of these to make them nice and stable. Oh, so do you love to sit and play with things like this? I just think this is really fun. So if this were to go across, well, let's see, I know I'm going to want this to go right here. So here I want my silicone pad. Let's get that out here. And I'll show you why I want this. This is a whole lot better because now if I put my tape right across there, you see there's no mess. I'm not having to clean up anything. And I'm going to put that just like that. So now let's look. If I wanted this to go across, and if I would like this to be the holder, well, you know, sometimes ideas are better when you're thinking of them. Okay, because I want it to hold it. Think that will hold it? I'm not sure. I was thinking, okay, so in looking back, if I can't get this to work, do you know what I would do? Well, see, I have extras of these. Here's another little, do you see I have all these little words? Let me think about this while I'm working my way. Would this be better? And I could put it all the way here. Yeah, but that looks a little lost in there if I were to add some of these things. No, we're going to go back to this idea. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to do this. And let's go ahead and attach those. Sometimes I make videos and everything's all planned and done. And sometimes I make videos like this that are just like playtime. And I kind of just talk through what I'm thinking and what I'm planning to do here. Because now I will put this across here. And on this, I'm going to put some, my favorite thing to use are these glue dots. And they're really easy to switch if I want to change my mind and put them somewhere else. So I'm going to put those right there. And then this would go up there. Ooh, it is going to work to close. Okay, now that still looks too plain. So let's see. I'm thinking I will put in a leaf there. Yep. I think I'll put a leaf on both of these. See, and I have all of these things that I could work with, but I think I could also do one of these. I could do both of those. I actually kind of like those. Well, we'll stick with this. We'll stick with what I had out here. Now to attach this, I'm going to squeeze one of these mini glue dots. And I'm going to put it on the thicker part right here. And I'm just going to make sure that that will fit right in there. And I'm going to make it go out like that. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. And I will put that right there. And then let's see, this could go that way or it could go, okay, we're just going to go like that. Okay, I could still add another if I want something more going out here. Let's see, do I want something more? I could put a, I have to think about that. Or I could put, I could put one of these big leaves coming up here too. Does that look too big? Okay, this is just playing, and I know I can come back to it. So you're going to see. Okay, I like that. I'm going to add that because it just adds a little more color and a little more fullness in there. But you'll see on my website where I always put the finished pictures. If I make any changes, it'll all be there. But you see, now this is going to hold it closed, and then this is where we're going to write, and that just serves as a little latch. Okay, that's fun. Okay, we'll set that one. Next, I thought it would be fun to take, okay, so there are envelopes, and I don't necessarily need beautiful envelopes. I would rather cut them apart and make more cards. Let's see if I can find, okay, so this is the envelope. So I just cut it apart like this, and you're going to see this show up too in other cards here. But I thought, let's have fun with this and take the two flaps, and then I'm going to put a card in the middle. Okay. And then I realize when these close, they're going to, well, let's see. I want it to go on the smaller one because then it can go on the bigger one. I want to go on the smaller one where they will fit. Okay, so I'm going to look at this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and run tape down here. And then I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to make sure I'm lining up the two borders. You can see I just cut it to fit. So it would be the right size going around. So this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And you see that's the envelope. This is cardstock, but it's just like a little lighter. They really flow nicely together. So then I'm going to do the same here. And I am going to butt it right up on the edge. That's my trickiest part before I close it there. Just make sure they're totally, I have to look at it here. Oh, yeah, part of it is stuck down. That's why I have to do this. Cool. Just trying to get it closed up just right. That will be good enough. It's not quite, but we're going to live with it. Then I'm going to put this on this. So this is going to be my layered card. Now I could do a few things with this. I could do a belly band would work really well with this. Let's see, what was I thinking I might do? Well, I'm putting this on the inside. You see here, these are where my word's going to go. This is just a scrap piece because it'll be covered. I wouldn't want to, I'm not planning to show the white up there, and I don't want any writing up there. So I'll go ahead and put this in the middle. So there's my inside piece. And then let's just see. I have some other pieces here. So if I took, oh, here are a couple of things that I was thinking. If I put this on one side, this on the other, again, they could lap. I love the idea of these latch cards. I love to make them a lot where cards will stay closed a bit on their own. Okay, so if we have to make sure we have the both of the dimensionals on this side so that it opens. See, and now I'm thinking that this could go here. So in here, I want the dimensionals just on that side. So I'll put 2 of those on. And then I want them to latch, but not be too hard to put together. Let's see if this works. No. Oh, okay. Because I have to go under there. I'll figure out yet. Okay. I love the idea, but I don't like that we don't see the U. So we must adjust it. I have to put it up a little higher. Okay. Now it's going to work. So ideally, if I had planned this out before, I would put my little thinking of you. I would have just made sure it was over here a little further. Well, like this one. So I could switch it if I needed to. But meanwhile, I do believe that that will help keep it closed. So now if I want to add anything else, I actually like those. I might come back and add that, but otherwise I like this just plain the way it is and the way it opens like that. Okay, so there goes that card. Now next, let's look at, let's have to set these aside. Look at these beautiful cards in here. And then there are envelopes, of course, to go with this. And I think I have my envelopes all cut apart, but they have this on that you'll see some of those. So this is beautiful by itself. And of course, we can always just take it apart and make 2 cards. But one of my favorite cards to make when I have beautiful paper like this, let's see if you can guess what this is while I'm making it. If I cut this front off at 4 inches and then 5 1/4, look how pretty that is. And then I'm going to take a piece of navy here. Okay, if you guess it, I just think these make just beautiful cards. So I'm going to run my adhesive all down through that. I'm going to center it right there. Close this up. And then you'll remember this is from one of the envelopes. Again, you can see this is what, but that just looks so pretty next to this. So I've cut off this front. So there's just 1 1/4 inches right here. That means I can put a 1 inch piece right here. And then I can put another piece on the inside to decorate this part. And we'll put this one on the inside. Again, we have another 4 by 5 1/4. I actually often make this one just a teeny bit smaller so that I never have to worry about it showing. But, oh, do you know what? I didn't do that here. So let's come back. We'll do it right now. It's showing just a little bit. You can also put the inside in first And that's another way of doing it, and then layer the top on top of it. But this looks like that will work. So we're going to put that in and see, and otherwise we can come back and do it again. Okay, I love that. Now we want to finish this. So these are my words. Let's do a thinking of you. Actually, what I'm going to do is let's finish the structure of a couple of cards and then come back and add the finishing touch. Okay, so here's the next one I'm going to do. Here I've taken part of the front so we can make a couple cards like this. This is one of my all-time favorite things to do with cards. Let's see, this happens to be 2.5 inches wide is what I cut. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to take my cutter and I'm making 3/4 inch slits along the side. What's really cool about something like this is if my paper ends up being too big, I can just cut it down a little. Doesn't matter. There's 3/4 inch there. And then this side we'll do 3/4 inch. And that comes down to both of those. And then I'm going to flip these down. So I'm going to run that and put this right up to the edge. Going to do the same here. Put this right up to the edge. So here's my card. I'll set that aside for now. And I'm going to put this one in the middle. So this is going all the way down. I could also cut it and have this go part way. What do you think? Part way. Now I'm going to let it go all the way down. I think that's pretty cool. It's a little, well, I'm torn. Let's cut a little bit. I'll just cut a little bit because that's about what it shows on the side too. You see on these little sides. Let's just see how this works. Okay, I'm happy with that. We'll do that. So we'll attach this one. So this will be this format. Okay, and there's the general format of my card. Now I could add little things on the side here too. I'm setting that aside. We'll come back and decorate them because let's do a couple more. So next, I've taken, after we cut these, there is this part left on the edge. So I have 3 of these pieces. So these are just random pieces that I've cut out of my leftovers. And this is from one of the envelopes. And I just love, strip cards. So look how anytime you just have scraps like that, I just think that is lovely. So let's go ahead and put those on. And I start with the 2 outside pieces first. Let's see. I think there is a way that these go together. Oh, so I don't want to do that one then, do I? I want to do the outside pieces first. We'll get this right yet. I don't know that it would matter in the scheme of things. I think either one would look just fine, but as long as we're planning it. And then I start on one side first. Put that down. And then we go to the other, put the other one in. You can see I'm just looking to leave a little kind of equidistance here. And the measurements, if you go to my blog, you'll see the exact measurements by each card. I'll just put the layers there instead of telling them there, because really I'm just working from these. I'm measuring them afterwards. I'm just kind of seeing what works out. And then I'm going to layer this a couple of times. Oh, look, I didn't cut that one straight at all. Okay, requires a little card making surgery here. I have to take that off. I can't quite live with that. My goodness. Things you don't notice when you're just quickly doing things. That is so far off. Let's see if this is better. Much better. I can live with that. And we'll put it back on. Was anyone else seeing that, or was that just me noticing that? Okay, and then I'm going to put this on one more layer. So all I'm adding to this packet is some plain cardstock. I'm not doing anything else fancy. I'm not adding anything else, but I just think that makes a really pretty card. So I have one more, but then I still have 2 cards made out of those little cards. So let's do one more of this because I had, this is what's left. This is the cover of the flap of the envelope. So I cut this to where I could still get it to be a triangle. So you can see just a little teeny thing there, but that's okay. And I thought we're going to build with this. So I'm going to, you can see the envelope flap on the back there. And let's see, this was my idea. We'll see if I can put it together. I know I had an idea here. I'm not sure what it was totally. We're going to put this at the bottom. No, we're going to put, because it's, I'm going to do a little bit of white frame, but it's pretty much to the bottom. Just because I had some right there. Ooh, nope. Just not wanting to cooperate with me. Let's see. We'll try it one more time, and then we will live with that. Okay. And then my thought was I would take the with thanks and tuck it under here because I thought I kind of just liked that idea and I wanted it smaller, but instead of then cutting it, I can just tuck it there. I love doing that a lot with punches or anything. And then you can just show the part that you want, which will be right there. And then I'm going to just layer this on a couple pieces too. Okay, we'll add that one and this one. Okay, so now I have my different things, and now let's my different card layouts. And now we're going to just look at finishing them off. So I'm just going to look at some ideas here. Okay, this one, you know, that wasn't attached because I didn't show the other. So see, I'll just attach it right there. Okay, I love the blue. Since we're doing the blue here, I think we must have a blue on here. Okay, so we'll add this. Oh, I could have popped that one up if I'd been thinking about it, but I didn't. So let's see. Let's do this right there. So I'll just give it a little height. Do we want to put one, let's see, up around here? And if we do, I should have done that first. See, I could do this. Could put that under there. Or you know what? I'm just going to leave all the flowers down here. I'm going to let this be like here because I think that looks pretty the way it is. And this is so cool doing this on the silicone mat because I won't have any mess. And I think I'm going to just put this one right here for now. I like that. I might add a couple of gems. I'm trying to look at my things to see if I add anything else, but for now, that's good. So this is how I come to decorate. I might come back and still add something, but right now I'm going to go on to the next one. And I think with this one, I know I would like a long word on this. So I've got the with thanks. To me, that just sort of fits this. So do you see all these pieces that came with it? And I stamped them. Okay, I like that. Now, I might also like, let's see if I have any. Okay, here is still a little ribbon, and a ribbon and an envelope if I wanted to put a little. I'm out of the other, but let's go ahead and play with this. So this is how I would just open up my envelopes. It's going to be one side, and then that side. And then we're going to flip it to this side. So here are the pretty flaps that I was using on that. It's just white. I'll put that aside. But let's say I want this to have a little bit of this on here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to we're just going to go for it. I'm going to take this and put it on here. I'm going to do it from this end because I'd like to cut from that end. Okay, so I'm going to go right there. It's just going to be to give it a little more accent. And then I can just look and see where that's going to fit right there. That seems like that will be good. So we cut and hope for the best. That wasn't so good, but we'll come back. I'm going to do this part. This obviously wasn't on straight. Can you see that? So, and that's okay. I am just eyeballing, and this part looks okay. And I want it to go like that. So we're going to see if this works. And I'm going to hold it. This paper cutter is great, so I can just hold that part down. And we trimmed around it. So see, I didn't even start with the measurement. I just went ahead and decided what I wanted. Okay, so let's put this on. I think, let's see, where would I like this to be? Okay, we need to trim that a little. Let me see. What did I? Here's my scissors. Didn't cut very smoothly right there. Okay. So I could put it down here. I could put up there. I kind of like it down here more. And then it's a decision. I think this is really a lovely card just the way it is. So I can decide to add. I could decide to add more pieces. Let's see if I added that. Well, you know, maybe that's just kind of nice because it's very different, stands out, and yet it fits. I like that. We'll go with that. So on this one again, I just like taking my little glue dot. Thanks for joining me in this little time of just playing. It just is. And I'm going to just stick that in. Now, any of these I could add other, I'd go for like more rustic gems or we have there are those little sequin things that are like in copper and gold. Those would be pretty, but I think these are really pretty just the way they are too. I'm happy with that one. And then I have these two, and I'm going to put them side by side because I want to see what I could make. So for words I have left, I have this one, and then remember this flips up. So I also have this. I actually like this because that's going to work if I want it to flip up here. So I'll put that one on here. I'm going to put 3 of these on, but just not where it's going to overlap. I like to have something overlapping here. Ooh, but before I do that, I should see if I want something big on here. Do I want anything? See, I don't think so. I think this looks really nice the way it is. Let me try out some things here. I could do, nah, okay. I do love the added blues on these. So I think I'm just going to go with Thinking of You here. And I don't know, would you want to, no. So I still have one of these, or I have this. I like these too. Well, let's look at this one since we're going side by side. So on this one, we could do it a little differently and put this. I'm going to do this. Now, because this is already a little more heavily layered, I'm going to put a glue dot on the one end. And the other one, I'm going to put this because they are unevenly balanced here anyway. And then I'm going to put that right in here. Okay, so now would I want one of these bigger ones on here? See, here's where, if I were really live, I'd be getting your opinion. I kind of like that. I'm not totally sure. Now this is where, so what I would do at this point, when I'm at home working on stuff, this is the point at which I walk away. I leave it out. And then when I come back, then I know kind of, because I might walk by it a couple times and kind of look at it and think, oh, it needs that, it needs that. But just to make these different, I might put 3 things on there and maybe these 2 on here. Oh, sure. Why not? We'll just go for this. But you can see that I have tons of possibilities here. So I'm going to put those on. And then on this, I will do a couple of these. So I'm going to squeeze my any glue dots, and put one there where it won't show through. And then I'll put the other one here on this tip. And then I'm just going to see where kind of I want that to go. Okay. Okay. Now this needs a little something, I think. What if I took one of these, and let's just say I just want one of these. Oh, so I'm going to take this apart because I just feel like I need a little something up there. Okay, I will live with that. Maybe I would want two. Maybe I would want three of these up here. So, and I'm thinking this is going to be overkill. Although it kind of does go with the flow there, doesn't it? That's kind of interesting. So I have that choice, which continues the flow, or I can just do, you know what? I'm going to do this. Might as well. And I will put, I think on this one, I will use the silicone pad. And you see how if I put a little bit on each of these leaves. And if it ends up being too much, that's okay. I would just know for the next time I would do less. So meanwhile, this is going to go in down there. But what I kind of like is how it flows there. So now maybe I would take the others off and just let that flow. But this is playtime. Okay, so we're going to come back to this one. And I like all of these. So let's start with one of these down low here. I will take this. So we have all these little bits and pieces. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to just put it right there. And I think I'd like to take the blue one and pop it up. So let me see where I'm going to want these to go. Let's have another one go off the kind of right by the edge there because it'll go with that. But it'll just make it a little bit layered. This is a little tricky because it's very bendable. But you see, I'm going to put this, put it right here, but right along the edge. And it's kind of mirroring that one. And then this one I'm going to pop up. So here, we'll put one here, and I have a little one to put here. There. I'm going to do that. So how fun. Okay, so I've done all those. That leaves us with those little ones. And I wanted to show, I first did this, just like this is how it would have you, if you're following the directions, and then it goes in this lovely little case. And I think this is so pretty. But I made this, cut the top off because we're going to do something different with that. And then I decided to leave this on one. So this is how this came together. And what I'm going to do is still put this inside. So we'll put this. Okay, so when we close it, it's like that. But I'm going to take the thinking of you and have this stick out. So see how it's going to be different from this? And then I'm going to put this across the top. So let's do this across the top first. You know, we love to see over in the Back Porch Stampers what you do. Every week we have a whole train of, every month, of what people did with their paper pumpkin. Oh, can you see what I did that was wrong? I did not want, but this is perfect. I can just pull this off on these two bottom leaves. I'm just not thinking. So I'm going to pull those off. Otherwise, my card's not going to open. Because then I'm going to put those up there. But those two can still just kind of float down there. Then I'm going to take this one and pop it up. So I'll put 3 of these on. Take these off. And go for right in the middle. I just think that is so fun. And then I could just decide to add. I might just add this little guy. Let's see. I still have all these same pieces from before that I had here. What about, would I do that? What about This behind here. Okay, this is another place I have to think about it. Okay, so as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, oh, this is pretty funny. Do you have a friend that's like always late? Could I send that friend this card and it'll say, thinking of you, you move at a snail's pace? I thought that wasn't what my intent was, but I don't think I'll send it to that person because it could be interpreted that way. Okay, I kind of just I think this is enough right here. I like this. So I'm going to put this on the end. I could always add more later, but I thought, no, sometimes things could hit a little too home. Okay, so we're just going to put that right on there, thinking of you. Oh, how fun. So that's just a little different look from this. Now, what we've done on this one, you can see I popped it up. So the front part is cut off, and then it's just popped up over this part. So this leaves us a 4-inch by 4-inch. This, could have been the card, but instead we're going to turn this into, and I already did score this. We're going to turn this into a twisted easel card. Love doing cards. So we're starting with a book fold. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. You fold it in half, and there is your standard card. And then you're scoring at 1 1/4. So this becomes the book fold. This is what, let's see if I have a stronger. Now I would use a stronger adhesive for this. I don't have one right here, so I'm sure I'll be coming back to fix that. I would use the Seal Plus. Okay, but you see how that's going to close up and go right there. And this is from the little envelope. So another little envelope piece. I'm going to put right. Oh, I didn't measure that right, but that's okay. It'll still be fine. And then I'm going to put this on the inside. So this measures 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and these pieces are 4-inch by 4-inch. And this is just the back of this card. So I've just split them. It's just the back of this card. Now this one I'm going to put on the front, but I only want to attach it on the front part so that it can fold up. So I'll put my tape on here. So you see it's only there, because then when I put this on, here's where it looks like an ordinary card. But when you start opening it, do you see how it folds? And I thought, isn't that fun? And then it says, sending autumn wishes your way. So we're just going to put in this other thinking of you. And I thought, I love that. So this is what's going to hold that up. So I will put a few of these. I want this to, okay, that'll be good enough. And then I'll just decide where I want this to be. I'm thinking, yeah, I think right there. Look how cool that is. And we've got a lovely little thinking of you card that's going to stay upright. So it goes that way. So I hope you've enjoyed all these ideas. These are just ideas to get you started. Now I want to see what you do. Put it in the Back Porch Stampers, and let's all be creative together.